Hey everybody and welcome back to the Cow's channel. My name is the Cow and we are here for a Cow's Opinion where we talk about the latest in video game news and talk to you about the Cow's opinion, which really doesn't matter because it's a moot point. Now we've talked about a lot of fun stuff on this channel. We have talked about Super Robot Wars finally coming to the West. And I've done some ideas on, say, Frostpunk 2. Which is a really awesome game that's going to move from coal to oil. And it looks really amazing. But unfortunately, today we have to talk about something that's not great. And today, the Wall Street Journal, not today, excuse me, but recently, the Wall Street Journal unleashed a bombshell that Activision CEO Bobby Kotick knew for years about the sexual misconduct allegations of the video game giant, including alleged rapes, and he didn't inform his board. Now, for those of you who don't know corporate culture, we'll go do a crash course real quick. Gotta be able to talk. So, the CEO technically reports to the board of directors. The board of the directors report to shareholders, and this way you're supposed to keep checks and balances on everything. It gets a little wonky at Activision Blizzard, where a lot of the people on the board are his friends, as well as he owns a lot of shares of the company personally. And because he owns those shares personally, that gives him a lot more voting power on the board of directors than a lot of other CEOs have. So the supposed checks and balances don't really help as much. But ever since all these allegations came out around here, you can see that we have gone this year. We started in January, it was in the 90s, it went all the way up to about 102, 104, and then allegations hit. We've been on the slow decline to $62.67. Closed at $62.38, went back up just a little bit after hours, $62.50, which is not great. Now there's 777 million shares out, and the price to earnings multiple is just a very general indicator of how expensive it is. 18 times is kind of in the average. Mid to high teens means that it's not terribly overly expensive, usually. But again, the stock has lost close to 50% of its value. Year to date, it's lost a third of its value. Look at this. That's not what you want to own. It's terrible. And then, of course, we have, look, the price target is $95.60. The company, Activision Blizzard, makes tons of money. They're going to have Call of Duty. Next year, they're going to have some amazing games like, or maybe not next year, but very soon. Overwatch 2 is coming out. Diablo is going to be finally coming out. Not the crappy Diablo that's just a cheap cell phone reskin of a Chinese game that was in essence a ripoff of Diablo, but an actual Diablo game for your PC, and that's going to be fun and cool. But can we play these games? I don't know. So we're going to be talking about the fact that 1,000 Activision Blizzard workers have signed the petition to drop Bobby Kotick because they no longer have confidence in the leadership of Bobby Kotick as the CEO of Activision Blizzard. So basically, workers are starting to say, we want him gone. This is the last straw. He's the guy at the top. The buck stops with him, and they really need to get him out of here. Bobby Kotick has proven, like other people at Blizzard itself, that he was willing to ignore harassment and terrible sexual harassment claims against everybody. The women stood up and said, we've been sexually harassed. And you know why it's easy to believe them? Because first of all, you should give people at least the benefit of a doubt until you do an investigation. And then second of all, a fair amount of the men said, hey, yeah, they sexually harassed us too. What the hell? Your equality to employees should not be based on the fact that you're sexually harassing everybody. What kind of BS answer is that? So as of today, the ABK Workers Alliance, over 500 current employees and contractors. I don't like that. Contractors could just be the fact that, like, the guy who delivers the paper for the copy machine is also signing it, which I'm sure he works really hard, but he's not an employee, so I don't think he's that helpful. But they asked that Bobby Kotick remove himself as CEO of Activision Blizzard. Spoiler alert, that's not going to happen, most likely. The guy owns a lot of shares and can probably stick it out. and that shareholders be allowed to select the new CEO without his input, who we are aware owns a substantial portion of the voting rights. So they're asking him to step down and also not exercise his rights as a shareholder. The guy's not going to do that, unfortunately. That's just the alpha type of guy he has been, how he's run the company, how he's turned Blizzard into a wonderful workplace instead of a massively oversaturated, control freak work environment. He's not going to do these things, guys. Now, this does come, and if you've been living under a rock, it's the only way you haven't heard. The Wall Street Journal, as we showed, the wide extent of his knowledge, including employee misconduct and sexual harassment, as well as the news of pay inequity between Blizzard co-leaders Jen O'Neill and Mike Ybarra. Before her resignation, Blizzard's first female co-leader was not offered the same salary as Ybarra until she told the company she was quitting. Now, here's the article. It's behind a paywall. I don't feel right showing you guys an article behind a paywall because that feels more like stealing. It's been summarized and we'll be able to talk about the same things here, but thank you to the Wall Street Journal for that really cool review into the situation. Her request for pay parity was initially ignored. No bueno. So a mere 3 months after accepting her position, she departed Blizzard. And this past week, further reporting painted a picture as to why. According to the Wall Street Journal, she sent the company's legal team an email a month later. In that message, she expressed a lack of faith in leadership, saying it was clear the company would never prioritize her people the right way. Now, it's imperative to go over a couple of things before somebody in the comments gets all hot and bothered. Nobody is trying to say that Mike and Jen should have been paid the exact dollar-for-dollar amount. I don't know either of these people enough to be able to say who was better or if they were equal. But based on everything that's being reported, the difference in their experience and abilities, the pay disparity was too great. Now, in a couple of years, maybe Mike deserves to make more, maybe Jen deserves to make more, and that's how it should go. But again, Jen and I, we have this really good quote for Ybarra, who describes it this way. Jen and I shared with management that we wanted to be paid the same to co-lead Blizzard together. We were both on existing contracts. I ran Battle.net and online, and she ran Vicarious Vision, so our pay was different. The first time both Jen and I were offered a new contract, it was the same across both of us for the new co-leader Blizzard role, so our compensation was going to be the same. Mike is standing up for her when the other guy, who, I mean, this doesn't necessarily paint Mike in a good light, even though he didn't do anything wrong. When he's standing up and saying, yeah, we were going to do the same job, we were going to be equally effective, equal pay. In other words, when they got promoted into their co-leader positions, they did not receive a raise right away. Their pay remained the same at first. Since Ybarra was already paid more than O'Neill, he continued to receive more money after accepting the promotion. And then there are also Slack logs in which O'Neill apparently asserted that she did not want to engage in a debate with her colleagues about the situation, and that she was eventually offered pay equity, but this payment contract was only extended to her after she informed the company that she was quitting. In other words, while the company informed me before I tendered my resignation they were working on a new proposal, we made equivalent offers only after I tendered that resignation. So this is exactly what should be happening. Mike stood up for Jen and said, hey, you know, until our new pay kicks in, yeah, my stuff is harder. I should be paid more. But when they have the same role, the same duties, and the same effectiveness, we should be paid the same. And Activision Blizzard didn't do that. And I don't know what else you can do. People talk a lot about wanting men to stand up a little more. Mike did everything he could. I mean, he can resign too. He may still resign. He may take a look at this like, well, if they're going to treat my coworkers and my staff like this, why the hell would I want to work for you idiots? I mean, Mike did everything he could. What else is there for Mike to do but that? Except maybe leave. Now, alongside these workers, a group of Activision shareholders have also called for Kotick to resign. They represent 4.8 million shares. Here's the problem. Activision, as we've seen, has close to 780 million shares. So, 4.8 million is a lot of shares. But against the total share count, 6,000th of 1%. Guys, when you're trying to affect change at a company, you need to own a lot more shares than that. To put that into perspective, to initiate any kind of hostile takeover at a company, you need to own 10% or close to it of the total shares. Is a good margin. And that's like 10,000 times. Well, not exactly. It's not enough yet. Now, I'm not feeling extremely excited about this now, but I'm kind of hopeful about it in the future. But it's not enough yet, guys. There's just not enough people who control the money that are making the demands. Now, multiple sources have expressed distrust in current leadership as well as the board following the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing lawsuit filed this year. Weird that employment and housing is the same, but oh well. So multiple lawsuits on ongoing. One settles related to public allegations. Activision Blizzard has nearly 10,000 workers, and it's not the first time that they made demands of their employers. They signed open letter in July. Initial tone-deaf response to allegations. Now, they've been making demands. The employees are trying to... A lot of the people who work for Activision Blizzard know how much this company means to fans like me. They're trying, you guys. And it's not really working. Kotick has said at the time he'd take a major pay cut, downsizing his annual salary from $875,000 to $62,000 when it had already been reduced from 1.5 earlier in the year. And Activision Blizzard announced these new measures only after journalists approached the company with questions related to Tuesday's report. Here's the problem with that, guys. Bobby Kotick does not get rich off of his salary. He gets rich off of his stock options. Last year alone, I believe he got close to $100 million in stock options that he can exercise. What do you care if your if your paycheck goes from 1.5 to 62,000 when you have like 80 to 90 times that much in stock given to you? What do you care about the day-to-day pay? He's literally doing the least thing he could possibly do. I know that it sounds really great. If you had told me this in a vacuum, the CEO was so heartbroken that he took his money down from 1.5 million to 62,500. I would say, you know what? That's a good CEO. But in this case, it's smoke and mirrors. It's an illusion. It does not matter in terms of his compensation. He does not make his money off of his paycheck. He gets it off of the stock options that the board gives him. And it's not going to change anytime soon, because as we've seen up here, only less than 5 million shares of voting rights want him to resign. That's not a huge total out of nearly 780 million. We've seen the percentages. Did I do this right? I don't think I did this right. Hang on. I might be an idiot. 800,000. Okay. Divided by 778, 9, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't think I'm doing this right. And this is really disappointing. 4,800,000 divided by 778,900,000. Okay. Yeah, I'm dumb. My fat finger hit the button too many times. But that's still not... No, that's still not nowhere near enough, even with the cow's dumbness, guys. Look at this. 0.06%. Nowhere near enough to get these people to change. Nowhere near enough. We're going to go up to here, and Activision is saying that they're committing, as of a couple weeks ago, to improving diversity in workplace culture. $250 million towards hiring more women, people who identify as non-binary, and those from underrepresented communities. Oh God, they're not doing this. Yes, they are. Oh God, no! Are you seriously? They're doing now. They're doing the worst possible thing. They have decided to have a certain percentage of their employees identify a certain way. Now it's good down here. They're waiving mandatory arbitration of sexual harassment discrimination claims, which is wonderful. And there, again, his pay package is going down. But here's the thing, guys. This is not going to work, and I'll show you why. Everything sounds great. This is from the actual U.S. forums. Everything sounds great except this part. It all depends on how they decide to implement the policy, so we'll see. Inclusion should definitely be the goal overall. With affirmative action, it should already be the policy to take on the most qualified applicant regardless of personal affiliations. We all know this isn't a perfect world, but progress for the sake of progress doesn't typically end well. So, let's talk about this, because it's actually not good that they're trying to more than double the size of people, because, first of all, they're not doing it for the right reason. Look at how wonderful we are. Look at how woke we are. We're going to be hiring more women and non-binary people too. It's going to be fine. Guys, the house isn't on fire. It's not a good idea, and here's why. First of all, if you're a woman especially, why in the hell would you go to Activision Blizzard now? They sexually harass even the men there. What chance do you have of having a decent career and a fun time and feeling confident and secure about yourself without being objectified? What chance do you have? You don't. You don't have any chance. Why would you? If I was a woman and I was looking to work in the game field, I wouldn't go to Activision Blizzard within the next year. I might consider it maybe in like 3 years if things turn around. But are you willing to risk your career and your reputation and your valuable employment time on a maybe? Especially when so much of the talent of Activision Blizzard has been in exodus for the past couple of years because of how terribly they've run the place. You're not allowed to be creative anymore. Everything's got to be microtransactions, and everything's got to be, on tight schedules that don't allow you to. Most of their recent stuff has been garbage. It's been crap. Women are not going to go there. Not to mention, guess what? Because I guarantee you this is what's going to happen. If they start reporting that they're hitting these hiring targets and everything, those poor women are going to be used as a shield or sacrificial lamb. Oh, well, we had to delay Diablo 4 again, guys. We hired a lot of new people, and they're not up to speed yet, and we're going to have to train them, and we're going to have to get them up into the Blizzard way. Guys, it's got to be, no. And it will be on the forums. I guarantee you it's going to be on the internet, because the internet's not always a fun place to be. Oh my God, this game sucks. You know why? It's because they went woke. And they hired women, and they hired all these other people, and all these other types. They don't know how to make games. I bet they didn't even hire people who love games. And then they're going to say the worst thing you can say about somebody. The most humiliating thing that you can say about somebody. They're going to call these poor people, they're going to call them the diversity hire. That is the worst possible label you can give somebody at work. You're only here because you fall into a box that gets left-leaning liberal media sites off of our back. We don't expect anything of you. We don't care about you. Shut up and just be here. And that is a garbage way to treat people. They don't deserve that. They didn't deserve to be sexually harassed. Many of these women probably have stock options themselves, and now their retirements and compensation have taken a beating for working at Blizzard and putting up with it and trying to make it a better place. They probably watched games like the Warcraft 3 remaster go out. Garbage. Probably begged, hey, Activision, Blizzard, no. We're not done yet. Don't release it. Oh, we have to release it. It's got to make this quarter. Doesn't matter if it's good. People will buy it. Well, no, they didn't. They've seen things like Heroes of the Storm not be given the chance to build up their following and just cut off. And now they're just... This guy has the right idea. It should be best person for the position. When companies start talking about this, some of those people are going to be held up as scapegoats, either by the company itself in a wink wink nudge nudge fashion, or on the internet whenever anything goes wrong. And they don't deserve to be treated that way. They just don't. I wish I could be more helpful, but I don't see anything to do right now. Bobby Kotick is not yet going anywhere, you guys. He has too many stock shares. The board is made up of his friends, and why wouldn't it be? Do you have any idea how much money Bobby Kotick has made everybody over the past years? He's made so much money, and that is where we're going to end it, and the crux of our problem today. He's made so much money. If you've ever wondered, well, how the hell did Weinstein over at Miramax, people always said, oh, well, he's just drunk, well, that's just him. How was he allowed to harass so many women? And how was he allowed to always be laughed as being just drunk at parties and stuff when he's playing grab button, doing stuff he shouldn't have? Or whenever you watch a sports team recruit an athlete, and the athlete he's been arrested 3 times for drunk driving. He beats his wife and he beats his kids. You're like, how does this person have a job? How does this person get hired? Why are you hiring this piece of garbage to your team? The same reason why Bobby Kotick still has a very good chance of being and staying CEO of Activision Blizzard. All they care about is the money. This stock price falling, it's a good start. I don't know if it's going to continue enough. I don't know if the board of directors is going to be able to take the pain until it recovers. Because guess what? It's going to recover. Eventually, people are going to start buying the stock again. Because hedge funds and other things don't care about this kind of stuff. They care about the money. Right now, they care. There's a lot of noise being made in the media. There's a lot of people like me and you talk about this on Twitter and chat rooms and Discord and all kinds of things. Right now, it's too hot and they can't hold on to it. They're selling. Yeah, we don't like that. We don't like the way. And some of them are probably doing it for the right reasons. Some of the people who are selling are saying, "Hey, I don't want to be a part of this company. This company doesn't treat any of its staff right." But what's going to happen in next week? After Thanksgiving, and then games start being sold for Christmas in record numbers, and Activision Blizzard starts having really good sales. What's going to happen next month when the new year rolls around and Activision Blizzard says, okay, time for a forecourt PR press that's going to change everything? What's going to happen next quarter and next year when it goes back up to here? Is it going to stay down low enough here to allow real and lasting change to happen? I don't know. I just don't know. They've made so much money for so long that they just may have the belief in themselves that they can weather this storm. And I'd love to tell you they can't, and the people in charge who are responsible for this have got to go. But I don't know if they're going to go. And that leaves you and me in a very precarious position, because on the one hand, I generally love Activision Blizzard games. StarCraft was the first computer game I ever played. I loved Heroes of the Storm. You can see tons of it on my channel. I dropped how many hours and how many dollars into Hearthstone, which is a free-to-play card game, before I finally decided I was tired of the bad balance in the game. But it was really fun, and we had a lot of great times with it. I really want to play Diablo 4. It looks like it might be a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to the first really great Blizzard game in years. And a lot of people who play Overwatch are really excited for Overwatch 2. But if these games come out next year, or in 2023, and the stock price has recovered, and Bobby Kotick is still CEO, and there hasn't been massive meaningful change, and they've made some progress on those hirings, but you can already hear the rumbling on the internet about how, oh, the diversity hire. They're going to call those poor people the diversity hires. They're going to make the rumblings about the diversity hires are what's holding them back now. They should just slowly get rid of them over the... That may be what they do, guys. They may slowly get rid of them over years afterwards, just to say, hey, you know, we hired some people, it didn't work out. Oh, well. They might just use them as shields. When all that stuff happens, which is a very good chance of happening, am I going to play Diablo 4 and say I'm going to support the people who make this game and work really hard? Or am I going to say, you know what, I just can't do it? Now, by that time, a lot of the companies that the Blizzard X staff have formed will stop putting out new games, and we're going to have that Blizzard magic, but the magic won't be from Blizzard anymore. Guys, I don't know the answer to this, so if you like the video, give us a thumbs up, but far more important than this, for the first time ever, I'm going to ask you honestly, leave a comment below, and you tell me what you think about all of this. Do you think Bobby Kotick's going anywhere? Do you think the price is going to go back up like I do eventually? Because it's probably going to. Wall Street is a cold-blooded lizard. It's going to eat whatever gets put in front of them. And if this drops into the 50s, it's probably going to look mighty delicious to them. And do you think that they're actually going to start hiring and treating people with respect? Or is this just smoke, mirrors, and a fresh coat of paint over a house that's still on the verge of collapse? Because I got news for you. People are saying this is the end of Activision Blizzard. It's not. They're too big. They have too much IPs. And even though the stock price is tanking, they make too much damn money to go away. So don't think it's going away, guys. Hopefully, it just gets better. Guys, this is a cow's opinion. Thank you so much for listening to me rant. And you have a nice day.